Hey guys, welcome to another video from betfairtradingcommunity.com. Going to go over first half goal today. So I've been doing a bit of a pros and cons series. So we're going to go over first half goals today. We're going to have a competition as well today. I'll kind of give the question at the end of the video, and then basically whoever comes out with the best answer is just going to win £10 Amazon voucher. So that would be great. And basically, I just want to kind of get people more engaged in these videos because I know loads of you guys are watching them, but not a lot of people are commenting on them. Me and Ryan kind of like to compete on this, and he smashed me this week because his video's done really well. If you haven't watched his video from a couple of days ago, please do. It's talking about a really easy strategy you can do in 2022, and it's well worth a watch. Anyway, we're going into first half goal today. Really popular market, one that's kind of risen as the years have gone on. People have started to cotton on to the fact that if you can find value in the first half goal market, the odds are often better than the second half goal market, and in that respect you can make money. So today I'm going to go into our software first of all, and then I'm going to go to my save filters. Oh, my head's in the way there, isn't it? But you can kind of see where I'm clicking. Let's go to my filters. Then we just want first half goals, set and forget. And these are just filters that I'm testing at the moment. And today's selection, as you can see, Liverpool versus Leicester. The reason I'm choosing this game and to do this tonight as well, because it's a Thursday, not a lot on a Thursday in general. I'm going to post this video tomorrow. And I'm going to trade this, win or lose. I'm still testing, so this isn't something I'd advise people to do while they're testing, but I'm going to do it because I want to show you how the market moves, kind of what feelings you're going to have when you're trading a first half goal, and some of the pluses and some of the negatives of it. So Liverpool Leicester, obviously normally I'd export this. I've already done that. I'm going to go over to my testing sheet, which I've literally just ripped today and started a new started a new page. I've got lots and lots of sheets, as you can see down the bottom here. But this is actually available to everyone, so if anyone ever wants to watch the testing, so if we scroll right to the end, the unders test that I'm doing, which is my unders galore filter that I've added to the members filter. So all members, you've got access to these selections. You can just download them every day or look at them and just basically looking at backing unders. Now we've only 60 games in at the moment, but to £10 stakes you'd be £99 in profit, which is really good. And yeah, I've not even filtered out any leagues, so you know we're still using all the random leagues. Maybe when I filter it out after we get a lot more results, we'll find that we can increase our strike rate even more. And at the moment we're winning at 58%, which is great because my minimum odds of 1.75 mean that our average odds tend to be around evens. As you can see here, 1.98, 2.02, 2.75, 1.95. They're all around the evens mark. You're not getting any really short prices. You don't tend to get big prices. This 2.75 is actually quite big for an under 2.5 goals trade, and you know it won for us, so that was good. So let's go to the end anyway, and let's go to the first half goal market where we've got Liverpool Leicester. Let's go find the game. It's going to be obviously quite easy to find as it's the big match of the day. Another reason I'm doing this video on this game is because I think a lot of you guys will have watched this game last night, so you'll be able to kind of understand where it's coming from and see what happened, see if you agree with my analysis. Okay, so at the moment the first half goal is 1.24. You'll easily get 1.25 if you want 1.25, because as you can see there's a gap between 1.24 and 1.26. 1.26 has virtually no money in it, and 1.24 has loads, so I don't think you'd have any problem getting 1.25 match. Let's have a look at the graph just to make sure. Yeah, I mean this would be a good one for Ryan's one tick. Yeah, and the last price match was 1.25, so yeah, there's not going to be many issues there. But personally, I don't particularly love these odds at 1.25. I think it's not a place where I'm comfortable backing. Even in something like this where I'm just showing you an example, I still want to try and get better odds if I can. Now, I've been talking with a guy on the forum today about the first half goal, And he was mentioning that in his testing so far, he's getting average odds around 1.4. Now, that is a nice place if you can enter at 1.4. If you're getting good strike rate on this market, I think that will be a nice price to enter. So I'm actually going to try and get 1.4 here. Let's go up to 1.4. I'll just put a tenner on. Again, this is just an example. And let's keep that in play. So we'll see if we can get matched on that. And yeah, I guess that's actually a good place to start with talking about what are some of the positives and negatives. So one of the negatives is on matches like this, you know, first half goal is going to be odds on, right? Every single day of the week. It's pretty much always going to be below 1.5, and quite often you'll get it around the 1.25 mark like this. This is kind of the short end of it. You don't get a ton where it's, 1.15, 1.1, which you can sometimes get when you're looking at a second half goal, or even if you're looking for over 1.5 goals, you can sometimes get those odds. I'd be surprised if you get many below 1.2 in this market, unless you're just getting really mismatched teams in, I don't know, like Man United playing a pub team or something like that. It's not very likely you're going to get around 1.1 on over 0.5. So, even at 1.25, while the price isn't ideal, if the strike rate is showing that it's still value and you're making money over time, even with odds like this, then it's not the end of the world. And actually on my testing, because I'm testing these strategies as set and forget strategies, and if you don't know what that means, basically what I'm looking at now is I'm looking for strategies where I can literally place all of the trades, or essentially they're more bets actually, place all the bets in the morning and then leave it, see the results, and as these have been tested thoroughly, if they're making money in the test, I put live money on it, and then when I put live money on it, I expect a return. And I don't actually have to do a ton. That's the beauty of set and forget. I'm not having to sit and watch the game. I'm not having to sweat what's going to happen. Is there a goal now? Isn't there? Just literally look at the end of the day. I actually see it more like a stock market investment kind of thing. So it's like you're literally putting your money on, and it's like with stocks. I'm not going to stare at the stocks I invest in every minute of the day. I just invest in essentially index funds. So I try and invest in something very safe that should just rise over time, and it doesn't really matter when you get in and invest. And I think that's the key with set and forget strategies, is that you should be able to start this strategy any day, just carry on doing it day after day, and if it's a profitable strategy, you'll make money over time. It's like an investment. You're looking for a rate of a return on your bets, your trades, or whatever. You're looking for that kind of percentage return over time, and it's really good. Obviously, if that can happen. So I think this is kind of where a lot of people miss out with Betfair, because they don't really get it. They kind of get a bit confused about, well, this just feels like gambling. And it's like, well, yeah, technically, but the problem is with gambling, you've got these negative connotations about the word that basically just say, oh, you're just throwing your money at nothing. But here, you've actually done serious statistical data work. And that's how you've come to the conclusion that this is a profitable strategy. You're putting money on that. You're not letting your emotions get involved at all. I mean, this is why I love the software, right? Because the software doesn't give me emotions, it gives me selections. I can put my criteria. So let's go to the unders galore, which everyone knows. Well, not everyone obviously, but most people watching this will know. Quite a famous strategy I produced. Now, if I click on the criteria, you can see all the criteria I used. Right? Everyone can view that criteria. But here's the thing, right? It just gives me my selections each day now. I don't have to then go and input this ever again, which is lovely. So let's just go back there. We don't want to edit this filter, do we? And as you can see, that's basically what's good about it. So back to Leicester-Liverpool. One of the positives of first half goal is you do get better odds than second half goal in general. That is a big plus. Right, because if you're striking, 75% plus, in general, you should make money on this market. Now, if you're striking 75% on the second half goal market, you're probably not going to make money, and that's crazy, right? You feel like if you're hitting 75%, you should be making money. Well, I think you will on the first half goal market, but in general, you're going to need a much higher strike rate in the second half goal market. And again, second half goals and over 1.5 goals, the odds tend to be a little bit shorter sometimes. So yeah, that's worth bearing in mind when you're basically deciding whether to go for this market or another one. But like I say, one of the cons is, one of the big negatives is the prices are short. The other big con that I haven't mentioned yet is that actually teams sometimes can stop playing a bit around the 40-minute mark. So when it gets to 40 minutes, if there's not been a goal, in general, although I'll stay in these if the testing says stay in, right? But don't get frustrated when from 43 minutes to 45 minutes there's barely a attack in anger, right? Because that can happen. But you do, on the flip side, the reverse of that, you do see goals in the 40th to 45th minute quite often. So it's one of those where you might get frustrated. It's like, imagine the second half. If it's the 88th to 90th minute, if a team needs a goal, they're going to be going for it like mad, right? However, 43rd minute, teams aren't going at it like mad. They do still go for a goal, but they're not really putting the hammer down. And you have to bear that in mind when you do this. But again, that's why we get the better odds. So, if we can live with a slightly lower strike rate, still make money with good profitable strategy, then actually first half goal can be a really nice strategy. And I think, personally, I do prefer it to second half goal, just purely because the odds get so good, and they get really juicy later in the half as well. So if you do want to sit there and trade, and like I say, a lot of what I'm developing at the moment is set and forget. The reasons for that are, so many of you guys have come to me and said, Martin, I just don't have time to trade. I don't have time to sit at my computer all day watching football matches and things like that. And do you know what? I don't think anyone really does, right? I don't think many of us do. So actually, if we can create things that you just go, right, here's your selections, place these bets every day, and you'll see an increase in your money over time. That's got to be worth doing, right? So that's kind of my focus moving forward. And guys, if you've got any good set and forget strategies that you want to chat over, or you need some help in that area, just get in touch with me on the forum, or get on the private coaching, the one-to-one section we have on the forum as well, and we can just chat that through. I've been doing that with 3 guys this week, and absolutely brilliant. They're coming out with some good strategies. And it's quite interesting actually looking at what other people are using and what's working for them, because basically there's so many ways to skin this Betfair cat, and I find it quite interesting to see what other people do and how they do well from it, especially people who, like most of the people at Betfair trading community, who come in who aren't making money in Betfair, and then they've joined, they've created their strategy, they've tested it, and now they're starting to make money on Betfair. It's so great to kind of see those seeds grow. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here for a second, and then we're going to come back and see if we can get this price matched. Lively start in the game, watching the game actually just on my phone while I trade here, and as you can see, the odds are getting towards 1.4. There's about 8 minutes gone. Leicester just had a shot save from Alisson, good shot as well, good save actually, and we're closing in on 1.4, so we should hopefully get that matched. It's kind of one of those where if you don't get matched, it's not the end of the world, because for the actual set and forget strategy, it shows that it works, because there's a goal. There was a first half goal, and obviously when you're in the first half goal market, that's literally all you care about, right? Is there first half goal, yes or no? Again, this is why it's kind of one of those all or nothing trades, really. Why I think set and forget betting is a really good option anyway, in the sense that when the goal's scored, you either win or lose, right? It's a very, very difficult market to try and trade and be getting in and out of. You could back unders and just basically hope there's no goal first 15 minutes, but of course if there is a goal, you lose your full stake. And there's no real way around that. Leicester looking quite lively actually here. There's no real way around that, so just bear that in mind when you're trading this market. Okay, so I just literally now got matched. 11th minute, well, we're about 12 minutes in actually, because my feed's a little behind. Lively game, so quite happy with the trade, but it's a set and forget anyway. And again, the idea of creating these set and forget strategies is that basically you get your selections each day and you just trade those selections, and that is that. Again, like I say with the stocks, when you're trading on stocks in the stock market, you don't necessarily want to be looking at it every couple of seconds. I mean, let's look at a bet like this, right, where you're just leaving it and hoping for a goal. and obviously if there's not a goal, you lose your full stake, which here is £10. And you know what you'll find is basically as soon as you place your bet, you're going to be looking at a cash out of a loss, because as the odds move out when there's not a goal, naturally you're going to be in a red position. It doesn't really have any bearing on a set and forget strategy like this. It's not relevant at all. So that's one of the things to bear in mind, another positive and negative of this market. So we're going to go through with this game. I'll come back and see what happens during the half. I'll post it and stuff. You know what I do, I post whatever happens anyway, even if it loses. This is much more to tell you about first half goals and basically how they're going. Leicester just had another chance there. But yeah, if you're watching the game, actually, it's quite an interesting one. If you are watching this game, see what you think. You know, did you think it was a lively first half? Did you think that a first half goal was warranted? I mean, you know, the filter that's been doing well has told me that there should be a first half goal in this game. Now, of course, it's only one match, so not every match is going to have a first half goal. But in general, they should. So let's hope we can get one here and conclude the video, you know, in a nice way rather than a bad one. Well guys, there we go. Goal goes in, 34 minutes. Let's have a quick look at what the price did reach before the goal. Actually got out to 2.3. So you can see sometimes the value of being able to sit in this market. We know that it has a really high strike rate, this strategy of getting a first half goal. So, you know, you could in theory, and I'd test this obviously before going live stakes, but you could in theory go, right, what if I wait till it gets to 2.0? What if I wait till it gets to 1.5? Would I still make a profit? Again, you're going to be in the market, potentially watching it. Of course, you can set up automation. Automation is a big thing I'm going to be looking into over the next few months as well. But yeah, it's a good strategy. The first half goal can work really well. You can get juicy prices even when there's plenty of time left in the half, like there was here. The odds were still well over evens for a goal, and you know, it was a lively game. Two teams who score and concede goals, and yeah, the first half goal felt like it had a good chance, even though it wasn't exactly the most attacking of games. It wasn't like end to end shot. It was good build up play, then shots. But again, with these set and forgets, that stuff's kind of irrelevant. You're not really watching for the in-play. And again, it's one of those where, are you going to be happy if you lose your full stake? Are you able to take that on the chin, knowing that over time you will make money because of your win percentage? Because that's something I always say, especially to newer traders, you have to consider that stuff, because a lot of people, you know, if I said to you, right, if you just bet on this outcome every single time, these are selections, you'll make money, I think virtually everyone would go, that's brilliant, that's great, I'm going to do that. If I then said to you, right, here's the selections, then you had a day, let's say you're just using a £10 stakes like I've just used to sort of example here. Let's say you have 5 loses in a row, 50 quid down. Are you then still going to have the mentality of, well, it doesn't matter because it's a long-term thing, I'll keep going? Or will you then go, no, I don't like that at all, I don't want to do that anymore? That's kind of what you've got to work out, because these are very all or nothing situations. And you know, you have to be in the right mind space to accept that, because if you lose your discipline, that's when things can really go awry. Okay, so just to conclude, I know this has been a little bit of a long one, but I like to do the live trades, I like to let you show everything, go through kind of the full, even on an example like this where I'm just literally using mess about stakes. What I want you to focus on is the mentality and the strategy, and basically why I did X, Y, and Z. Okay, so just to round this off, and I'm going to be doing a few of these on different markets, so I'm going to ask you guys the question now. What is your favourite market to trade? What is your favourite trade within that market? So let's say, you know, is over 2.5 goals market your favourite? Do you like to trade over 2.5 or under 2.5? And basically tell me why. Like, why is that your favourite? What have you found? You know, basically the most interesting answer will get that £10 Amazon voucher. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Really appreciate all the likes, comments and subscribes that you guys do. We're growing all the time, and we love that. We love you guys for that. We know it's a very niche thing, Betfair trading, and we don't try and get sponsored or anything like that, so we know we kind of have to grow from the ground up. But it's so great to have such a great loyal fan base behind us, and I'll be back for another video next week.